eating in a restaurant is an everyday thing. Not for us, but for someone. Someone eats at a restaurant every day. And I don't think people understand how many things they do in a restaurant that they shouldn't do. It's like, I'm sure there's an industry that I'm unfamiliar with that I do taboo things at all the time. And in advance, I apologize. Like, it's not my intention to go anywhere. Anywhere I go, I want to like be the best or like great guest or customer. I want to be that person, even if I'm unaware of the ins and outs. It seems like an industry as popular as restaurants, people don't really understand that there's a lot of things that they do that they shouldn't do. And today we're going to talk about some of those things.
Welcome to Fancy Bread. I'm Adrian.
I'm Ed.
And today we're talking about breaking cardinal rules. Today might be Holy Friday. So in honor of it, let's talk about some things that we as servers shouldn't talk to guests.
Right.
Guests shouldn't talk to servers. And guests shouldn't talk amongst themselves on a table.
Right, but just as an interruption, this is a secular show. Okay? Go ahead.
Absolutely. So let's start with server to guest.
So what things servers do to guests that they shouldn't do?
Talk about.
Talk or do.
Talk or do, yes. But usually the big three or the big cardinal rules are politics, religion, and sex. It is said that these are the three things that a server should always avoid talking to a guest on the table. And then whenever guests talk to them about that, you should always deflect it as well. Now, why do restaurants say this? Is because it's a quick way for you to take a situation and turn it into a negative.
So politics, religion and sex. So like the worst case scenario would be a server going up to a table and saying, "Hey, what's up, my fellow Republicans? God bless you. And damn, she got a fat ass." Like those, that's like 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Now the question I ask you is,
What am I gonna do?
how many times have you done that?
Nah, I don't really do shit like that at tables.
Really?
Yeah, I don't creep tables out. I'm not a creepy guy.
I mean, not being creepy, but obviously...
Oh, it's not creepy?
The idea... Well, I guess.
Talking about
the
sex
idea
is not
is
creepy to a table?
The point being is that, obviously, yes, these are things that we shouldn't talk to guests, but most oftentimes, let's be honest, most times, or at times, we do talk about these things to guests, or guests talk about these things to us, right?
Right. So we accept that there's a little leeway, right?
There's always a little leeway.
There's a little leeway for these things, a little tolerance because, people break rules all the time.
Of course, and then we're going to help you find out when and how for you to figure these things out, right?
And this is a constant ongoing thing, right? We're talking about this today, but we may talk about other things in the future. So this isn't like a part one. It's just we're chatting about this today.
Yeah. So
right?
When would be, to you, a good time to bring any of these? Or let's start with one. When would be a good time for you to bring politics?
Politics?
Yeah. When would be a good time for you to bring politics? I got one. If you don't, maybe you can buy it.
I don't. I'm telling you, I don't talk to tables about politics or religion or sex. I don't.
Well, I like to use things when they benefit you, obviously.
Okay.
The other day we had this situation in a table where the guests complained that after, because he just went and very confidently ordered a bottle of wine. I'm going to have that bottle of wine. I'm like, absolutely, bring it back. Brought it up, opened it up. Everybody enjoyed it. Yeah. When the bill came, the guy's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "What's what?" And it's like, I came here a month ago and the price of this bottle was X. And he even showed me the receipt on a picture on a phone, which, careful for those, ChatGPT fixes those anyways. And he showed me that receipt. So I said, well, let me talk to a manager, see what I can do. I sent him my SOM.
This is beautiful.
My SOM used this in a beautiful way. Thank you. This is our menu. Made by Sean, and he's going to be doing a couple more. Let us know if you want one of your own. That's where I get my notes. So when the SOM came back to the table, and the guy was giving him all this stuff, showing the receipts and all that, he used politics to his advantage. He said to the guest, "Oh, sir, we do apologize for the inconvenience, but we appreciate you understanding that in times like these where, they just introduced tariffs, that you are so willing to help out a restaurant, and we really do appreciate your patronage. You have to have yourself a wonderful day, sir."
You just walk away. Just walk away.
like a G. You know
just
what I mean?
walk away.
So whenever you can use these things to your advantage, go for it. Otherwise, you might want to do something that I like to call reframing, right? Not necessarily just for religion, but pretty much for anything. And the restaurant industry, it's in our best interest because it's not written down. It's not something that we have to do. It's something that we choose to do. Is that we like to do what I like to call reframing. Let's say somebody walks in and says, "Oh my God, it was raining. It was a terrible day." And then you might say something like, "Oh yeah, today was definitely not the brightest day, but as you know, here in Miami, it just changes constantly. Tomorrow's gonna be a beautiful day. You're gonna have those nice blue. It's not like the grayness that colors the Northeast. You can throw some shade too in there, and then just flip it into a positive."
That sounds like a lot of fucking work, man.
That's a lot of work.
I'd like-
how would you flip something and someone says, "Oh, you know,
Give me a
why is-
scenario.
Or
Give me a scenario.
Oh, I waited so long to sit here.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm your server, dude. I don't run the fucking door. You're sitting down. I know you waited a long time, and I apologize. As a representative of this restaurant, I take responsibility partly for your inconvenience, sir, ma'am, whatever. But you're sitting down now. So now I'm going to do the best I can to make sure you have a good time. Right? You're feeling shitty? I feel that. You're down here. We can only get better from here. All right? What kind of water you having? Let's grow the fuck up. Let's move on.
That's an interesting reframing that you did there.
How about this? All right, reframe master. This tea you gave me is absolutely disgusting. Reframe that.
Well-
reframe that. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry that you don't like those vitamin C and nutrients that are going to help you out.
No.
No?
No, it didn't work that.
It didn't work that way?
You're gonna little sip of my cerveza.
You wanna stick with your beer? I'm sure that's gonna keep you nice and awake, and
A lot of people would agree.
that's okay. And that's on you.
So as Adrian presents these mystical, philosophical, existential cardinal rules, I am going to present some slightly more casual things
Go
that
for it.
I experienced this past week and a half. Guests doing, I'll throw them out there. We'll go back and forth. Again, mine are a little bit more simple. Go figure.
Yeah, I should have said you don't like vitamin C.
Right.
That would have been better.
This is a callback. You're going to like this one.
Go for it.
These are all things I think guests shouldn't do. Okay. You shouldn't hand out ring. You like that?
Yeah, vitamin C, baby.
Go
Go ahead.
yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Guess
You shouldn't hand out or handle like really wrinkled money, like really wrinkled bills. Has anyone ever handed you money and it's wrinkled like really, really bad?
Disrespectful.
Extremely disrespectful. Wrinkled bills. That's a callback.
Yep.
And then this happened last night. Some guy paid, and I'm sure we've all seen this. His debit card looked like it had gone through war. Like the strip in the back was peeling off. I couldn't see the name on it. The edges of the card were like coming off, and like the plastic was peeling. Come on, dude. Like if you have, somebody might be like, hey, listen, they use their card a lot. They probably use it a lot. They got some money on
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
All right.
Use it.
I understand that philosophy, but no. When you hand someone a shabby card, I think to myself, this person doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They have no idea how bad this looks. It's just as bad as someone handing you wrinkled money. So if you have a really, really overused debit card, stop thinking that people are going to be like, oh, he uses it a lot. She uses it a lot. Probably got money on there. It looks really, really shabby.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
Really, really bad.
I think that as soon as you go anywhere and your chip doesn't work, change your card.
Right.
Please.
I understand.
For the love of God.
I understand.
Please.
You have a lot of recurring payments on there. It's a pain in the ass to have to, change your card information on all of those subscriptions you have. But that'll take maybe 10 minutes.
When you ask for just a new card, a replacement card, you don't have to do that. When you ask for a replacement card because it was lost or stolen, they will have to give you a new number.
So even less reason to have a shabby card.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Now let's move on to guest to server. Like, what are some things that guests shouldn't ask us?
Ask us or tell us. This is another one of my casual ones.
Yes.
Stop telling jokes. We got 3 cameras here, right? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop telling fucking jokes. All right, Tim the Tool Man. Your wife thinks you're funny. Your kids think you're funny. You're not funny. You're not funny. Okay. This goes out to all my servers and all my front of house people who've had to fake laugh at a corny ass joke. Stop it. Stop telling us jokes. You're not funny.
Should we have a tip jar for every time someone takes a joke and we have to fake laugh?
We should be able to charge you.
Should we be able to charge you?
We should be able to charge you a tax for tips. Yo, stop telling jokes. I don't even have a joke about how bad it is to tolerate your jokes. Stop telling us jokes. We are tired of it. We're here to take care of you. So please stop torturing us with your corny ass jokes.
Yeah, we heard all the restaurant related jokes.
Yo, and all right, that's the thing. Maybe I'm upset about hearing jokes, but I think I'm more upset about how repetitive the jokes are. Mm-hmm. At least say something original so that I can also not laugh, but at least say, hey, he gave it a shot. She gave it a shot. Cool. Stop telling jokes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
On top of that, I do have a couple of ones that you shouldn't ask, which is salary, relationships, and to some, even personal questions.
Where are we on us to
guests
them?
to servers. Yeah,
so guests shouldn't ask us these questions. They shouldn't ask me my salary.
Yeah, they shouldn't ask you your salary. They shouldn't ask you about your relationship status. They shouldn't ask you personal questions.
They do.
They do all the time.
They do all the time. Again, there's leeway.
Correct.
Right? I could say every show that we do, I could say stop telling jokes, and people will still tell jokes.
Yeah, but the point to bring here is that when you do, we as servers have a couple of routes to take. I'm just going to give you two. One, I say I'm not going to entertain this. On the other side, I say I am going to entertain this. Maybe this person will appreciate it and tip some extra, because the reality is that we're not asked or required to listen to you, listen to your problems, listen to what went on with your day. We don't have to listen to your medical procedures. We don't have to listen to your illnesses, to your sickness. If the people that are around you don't want to listen to you, why should I have to listen to that? So whenever me as your server, I'm listening to these things, remember, that's extra.
Hey, yo, listen, this happened last night. And when you said that, I just reminded myself. This woman very enthusiastically was like, oh, this is our first time here. And I was like, welcome. And I walked away. And I overheard her say, what an asshole. I'm the asshole? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to stand there and be like, wow, where are you from? Wow, thanks for coming in. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't. A lot of us don't. Most of us don't. Right? I'm not paid to be your fucking, your pep rally.
Yeah, I do, because I'm extra.
Yeah. Hey, it's our first time here. Welcome. I walked away, bro. That's it. What the fuck am I supposed to say?
Well, that's good, because I want to talk about redirection. All right?
Redirection is different than reframing.
Yes. This is reframing and redirection. They're two different things, right? So redirection, This is something that is actually really good. I'm going to give you 5 little points as to how you can kind of shape this. But again, you can also steer it somewhere else depending on your style, your personality, right? But number 1 is to set a boundary. Number 2 is to steer the conversation. Number 3 is to offer something positive, hopefully, or preferably your next service step. I'm gonna give you an example in a little bit. Step away when needed, and also know when to return. Now, the one that I would flip also is on the number 3, on the offer something positive. At the same time, you could decide to mirror your guests. We did a whole episode in which we talk about mirroring, which you could kind of go around the same vibe that they're giving you. And then finally, you can even contest it. Now, I'm going to give you a sample, right?
Oh, contestant. Okay.
A contestant.
Okay.
Correct. Let's say somebody asks me a very personal question. I can say, depending, of course, on the situation, I can say, oh, actually, I like to keep those very close to the chest. But what I could do for you, or what I like to do for you, or what I would love to do for you, right? You can just steering it is go to your next service step. If it's water, I would like to get you some water to get you started. Or if it's a cocktail, I'll be like, I'd like to get you started with a cocktail. And then you can even suggest one. I think X cocktail will great for you, or for your outfit, et cetera, your situation, et cetera. And then also, if you feel like they're, holding on back onto it, you'll be like, let me give you a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Give you a chance to think that over and know when to return. Now, if you wanted to mirror that situation, you could just also say, if they ask you something that was a little too personal, right? Like, oh, was this or was that, or, something about yourself. again, you can give it the same, but then be a little playful. You can say, oh, but you know what I like to keep that close to the chest, but you know what I like to keep close to your chest? This drink. You can even contest
You're
that.
gonna say these nuts.
These nuts.
Like
I wasn't gonna go there. But you can. That's mirror. You can keep it playful.
That's where
if they're feeling like nutty, go nutty.
Right, exactly.
Go nuts. Or if you want to shut them down,
unless they have a nut allergy, because then you can't go nutty or naughty.
You see it. There you go. That's where you shine. Or were you
naughty.
even contest?
Don't get nutty.
Or sometimes you might want to even
or crazy.
Or sometimes you might want to even contest that, right? Like you might want to say something that puts them in a place where they say, "Oh, I was the asshole on that." I'm sure you can figure something out. Like somebody asks you a personal question. Someone says, "Yo, you seem like a nice guy. Seems like you know how to move. You fuck a lot."
No one's ever asked me that question.
No,
but I can guarantee you that.
Am I the only one?
People have asked you that question. I was gonna say
people are really weird when they ask me questions. People ask me sexual questions all the time. People ask me questions about like my sexual preferences. People ask me questions about my sex life. People ask me questions about how do I take care of myself, dude. People cross the line often with me.
Yeah,
I put them in the place.
You're cute,
depending.
Though. You're a cute guy. I'm not. I don't have that issue. People people interact with more how I speak to them, not with how I look.
And what would be a good example? My people might say, "Oh, you're rude," or "You're an asshole." Is that what people say you? What do people give you?
People have said I was rude, and then I said, thank you, and I said, "Give me a moment." And I went to one of my coworkers. This is a classic move. I go to one of my coworkers. I go, "Yo, listen, table 10, they're not fucking with me, bro. Can we switch? Take that table, please. Just take that table, because I don't want to get managers involved. This happens all the time. Yo, you could get away with a lot on the floor if you don't tell managers. You just have to have to be tight with your coworkers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a table. They're like, "You're rude," and without blinking, I'll be like, "Absolutely. Give me a second." And I go to one of my coworkers, like, "Yo, go to table 10. I can't go back there. You got a problematic table? Give them to me. Let's switch." And then we'll just switch, and the table will never see me again. And managers won't be the wiser. Huh. That's what I do.
No, I do stuff to put them in place. I'm sure that you have done this before. I had this table the other night.
Oh, all the time.
And the guy comes in with the lady, and he's just like, chilling. And I go to the table, welcome in,
arms
Mr.
sprawled out, arms sprawled out.
Yeah,
on the banquette,
super chill, right? Sitting like Jesus in the back,
You know who you are with the arms out like this, chilling in the joint.
Mm-hmm. So like this guy was chilling, relaxing. I'm like, "Sir, can I get you started with a drink?" He's like, "Not now." Like the not now kind of thing, right? So obviously then I go do all this stuff. Yeah. I keep an eye on him, right? And then we do shows, presentation, and the guy come back and he's like, "Where you been? I'm ready. Where you been?" And I said to him, "One moment." I just walk away.
Walk away.
Just walk away. Put him on the place. It's like, you're going to tell me after?
Yeah.
No. It's not the way it works. Remember, it's not my job. It's extra. Right?
I think one of the best things is making a macho, like a toxically like masculine guy, putting them in their place is one of the best things, man. It's just it
hit me with it.
It lightens my heart. No, I don't have a specific reference right now. It's just generally speaking, it just makes me feel so good to make like a corny macho guy just like that. Like, I'm ready to order. What's up, man? How can I help you? What you want? What you want? Hey, man, I'll be right back. Give me a sec. Oh, wait. Give me a sec. Oh, you know what? I'll literally be talking to somebody. Like, you and I are standing up talking, and you're a guest. Mm-hmm. You're about to leave. You're standing at the door. This happened. You're walking away, and you get my attention because you want to talk to me about like the service. And the guy's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." He hand shook me some money, crispy money.
Nice,
right? Really nice. And then I feel a tug in the back of my shirt, and I'm like, what the hell was that? I feel another tug like this. And it's the guy who I'm taking care of sitting at the table behind me. And I turn around and I'm like, verbatim, I said, "Yo, give me a second. I'm talking to somebody." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, well, how big of a baby can you be? So I'm literally talking to somebody and you want to grab me like, anyways, listen, don't do that. Did you write that down?
You know what? I want to make sure and add.
Did you write that down?
Don't get up to talk to your server. Like,
what is that?
Why? We're just like, hey, let me go and get, hey, and then you go and get up and.
Like, what is that? Or here's the biggest bitch move. Like you get in trouble because a guest will get up, right? Because they asked for something and they didn't get it in 3 seconds. So what do they do? This fucking guy will get up from the table and walk around the restaurant, usually with his napkin in his hand, right? And then
Or it falls on the floor because they forgot
find
it's
an
on
employee.
It falls.
Find an employee and be like, I'm sorry, I asked for ketchup over here like 7 seconds ago. I still have no ketchup. And of course, what always happens, a manager is within earshot. Remember, if you don't involve a manager, you could do a lot. I mean, like for the greater good. I don't mean like nasty shit. But it's, of course, what always happens, that fucking guy gets up, asks for ketchup, and a manager is always within earshot. So then a manager will home in, oh, I'm sorry, sir, how can I help you? And then what happens inevitably? The manager will be like, whose table is this? Adrian's table? Adrian, this guy got up and asked me for ketchup. What's going on? Man, fuck you, man. Sit down, wait for your ketchup, or whatever the hell you asked for. Don't stand up and ask for shit.
No. The worst one is when they ask for Diet Coke and they ask for Diet Coke to 3 other fucking people. And then they get 3 Diet Cokes and they be like, oh, I only needed 1.
Yeah, well, you're going to pay for 3.
Well, you're going to pay for 3 because you asked for 3.
Right. A little refill in advance.
Exactly.
Oh, well, to go back a sec, one of the things I really, really dislike is when a guest is almost done with their meal. Another party will sit next to them. And then that guest who's almost done with their meal will start selling your food to the table next to them. Right? Oh, you got to get the short rib. Unbelievable. It's like butter. It's, oh God, like they brought it with, and they never get the fucking ingredients right. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They never describe it right. Yo, I swear to you, if a guest ever does that, but they kill it with the description, they kill it with the spiel, I'll be like, yo, my job is done. I don't got to do nothing, right? But they never do. They never do. It's always like, yo, they never get the ingredients right. They always get the condiments wrong, the flavor profiles. Shut the fuck up.
And if you want to do it, just keep it short and simple. Just say to your guest next to you, be like, hey, it was our first time. I just want to let you know I had the short rib. Spectacular. Highly recommended. Done. Keep it simple.
I even think that's too much. That's not your job. I think that's too much.
Interesting.
No, it's no good. You already planted a seed of negativity. Somebody might be like, no, that doesn't sound too good. And then I'm fucked. I can't sell them the goddamn thing. No, don't do that.
Let's move on to the last part. Okay. Guest-to-guest interaction. Things that guests shouldn't talk to each other on a table. That I consider rude.
I got another thing before we do that.
Oh, you're going to
Here's
going
another
back?
one. No, I'm not going back. I'm going forward. But I'm going to go back before I do that. Here's another thing I really, really dislike. And I've seen a lot more of it. If you're going to go to a fancy restaurant, a high-end restaurant, and you're a man, don't wear shorts to the restaurant. I don't care how stylish they are. I don't care how much you paid for them. I don't care how many free Sheen fucking credits you've gotten. So you bought this nice pair. Don't wear shorts to a restaurant. What is wrong with people, bro? How can you call yourself a grown man and you're wearing shorts
to a fine
dining restaurant?
If it's a casual restaurant, that's different.
Obviously.
If it's a bar, that's different.
It's important to note the kind of restaurant you're going to. And then you get upset when the door is like, no, you can't come in.
You can't come in.
You can't come in.
What do you mean it can't come in?
What are you talking about? These are fucking $8,300 pair. Doesn't matter. They're still shorts, man.
Doesn't matter.
Stop wearing shorts.
Your knees aren't. We don't want to see them.
What you were saying was
guest to guest.
Guest to
our
guest.
Our last category.
Our last category.
What things guests shouldn't talk about on the table to each other?
To each other?
Is there something that you personally don't like to talk about on the dining table?
Anything.
I got.
I don't like talking about anything. Nothing. First of all, this isn't really a category that I can answer because you know me, I hate eating in groups. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. And if I'm out eating with people, maybe a 4 top max. Anything more than that, I really dislike it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Because what ends up happening is that listen, if you guys are like the best friends ever, then cool. Like most people don't have 6 really good friends, 5 really good friends, right? That's not the way the world is framed anymore. You have like 1, maybe 2 really solid friends. And if you are going to go eat with those people, great. You guys are going to be fucking serving each other food. Right? Cool. But most of the time, like I dread an experience where like you're eating with like 10 people, like a BEO, like a banquet, no one knows each other. The person at this end of the table doesn't know the person at this end of the table. Separate conversations. Unless you really organized it, payments are kind of weird. So I don't like talking about anything. If I'm in a situation like that, I don't like talking about anything. I just want to eat and get the fuck out of there.
Well, for those of you that do, even though most of us don't enjoy that,
I don't enjoy it.
you got to keep it light. You got to keep it cash flow. You got to keep it positive. Some things that you definitely don't want to talk about in a table, again, like politics, religion, and sex. Those will be 3 things that you can definitely avoid. Another one that and like I said, too personal questions, sexual questions, etc. But another one that I think that you shouldn't talk in a table is bodily functions. I think that it's a little gross and a little...
Oh, give me an example.
Like somebody talking about puking or going to the bathroom or taking shits or having problems with their stomachs or having ulcers or, all these things. Like nobody needs to, like me as your server or me as your guest, like why would you want to get graphic like that? I don't think it affects the appetite. Nothing that kills the appetite, I would say. And I think that's something that, it's not something that's
You get grossed out
appetizing.
easy? You get grossed out easy by stuff like that?
It's not grossed out, but it's more like, really? We're talking about this? We're eating? Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
What if you're eating like a clam chowder and someone's talking about like they're gonna vomit? What happens then?
I'd be like, do you mind?
What if you're eating oysters and someone's talking about like mucus? What happens then?
Or definitely they want to say how they're aphrodisiac and they're going to make everybody horny, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean,
Keep your jokes. Come on, we heard all of those. We've heard them all.
Yeah, that's another guest joke. That's another guest joke. Anytime you allude to aphrodisiacs or no. But what if, okay, let's just say someone talks about aphrodisiacs at your table while you're eating, like your friends.
Well, like I said, you can either entertain it if you want to, or you can redirect.
What if there's a girl at a table you're eating, you don't know her, hypothetical situation, and then she makes an aphrodisiac joke, and then she gives you an eye. What happens then? Still lost your appetite?
No. I would at that point I would redirect and mirror.
So it's not much these things are disgusting. It's all circumstantial.
Of course, it's all circumstantial. However, those are things that, again, if you're going on a date, duh.
I don't think I've ever heard a girl.
But
make
if you're
an
going in a
aphrodisiac
big
joke.
group, that's different.
Have you ever heard a girl make an aphrodisiac joke with food? I haven't. You have? A girl has made an aphrodisiac joke?
Listen, I will say I've met...
Why did your voice go up there?
I have met a lot of interesting people in my time in the restaurant industry.
You're an interesting person.
And I've met a lot of friends in the restaurant industry.
Okay. You and I met in the restaurant industry.
You and I met in the restaurant industry. So,
the darkest day of my
it's
life.
very normal for you to meet people in the places that you hang around with most. And if that's work, then that's normal. So I met a lot of people that have, cross the boundary lines and do that. I will never forget that. This guy asked me, "Oh, dude, I need a friend. Would you want to be a friend?" I was like,
"He needs a friend?"
Yeah. This guy asked because he just enjoyed the experience. He was like, "Oh man, like I could really use a friend. You look for a friend." I was like, I was like, I appreciate the invitation, but I got a lot going on right now.
Bendito.
And I gotta go.
That's so sad, man. Come on, dude.
Hey, man, listen, it's all in the approach, and that came off a little too needy.
I don't know. My service is a little bit too cold for that. No one's ever asked me to be their friend. People just ask me typical shit like, "Oh, what should we do after this? Where should we go?" Stuff like that.
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me to be their friend. That's the creepiest but cutest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, but it's very common for them to also ask you like, "Oh, well, like because sometimes we ask guests, where are you going next? What's the plan?" So that sometimes you can offer some suggestions.
That's okay.
And they always give you the, "Where are you going? Are you coming?"
No, you see, that doesn't happen to me. You're the handsome one. I'm not. I make people laugh or I make them feel like I'm rude, but that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, so you might be on any of the sides, or maybe in the middle.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can take this
I'm not,
techniques and use them towards your advantage.
I'm sorry, Adrian. I wasn't born with good looks. I can't use those to advance in the world. Everything I have because of, how I am, not what I look like.
Right? And I ask you, are all these things a server's responsibility, or are all these things extra?
I certainly think that you get out of an experience what you put into it, and it's all about adaptability. So I don't think I don't think it behooves a server to not be able to think on their feet and adapt to these situations and kind of be witty with whatever is thrown their way. Like, I may not enjoy any of those interactions that we talked about, generally speaking, but when they happen, and they will, I always have a response for it. Always. I don't think there's anything that could shock me in a restaurant anymore. Nothing. I'll give you an example. This happened last night. My last table. 2 people. This woman, they were lovely. This woman had a lime in front of her. A lime. Lime. Cut in half. A small lime. Cut in half. And as I'm clearing the table, I say, "Oh, let me get this lime out of your way." And she said, "Oh, yes, that lime is," because I saw the lime, and it wasn't a lime that we have. It wasn't like a wedge of lime. It was a tiny little lime cut in half. And I said, "Let me get this lime out of your way." And I go, "Did I bring this lime?" And she goes, "No, I brought this lime. I didn't put deodorant on tonight, and I used the limes."
Is that a thing?
Well, that's what I thought inside. But what came out of my mouth? "Oh, what are these key limes? Damn, girl, you smell good. Girl, what's this key limes? What's your key lime? What's your key lime pie over here?"
Reframing.
So that's my point. So you see, the weirdest fucking thing I've experienced in a long time, but you have to be able to just kind of like bounce and dance and play the game, no matter how weird or awkward. I mean, there's a limit to everything. Somebody might cross a line, but like, hey, relax. All right, take it easy. I tell people to relax all the time. But for the most part, if someone is there to have a good time, but they are just socially awkward, you have to kind of dance the dance. Right? I'm not going to laugh at a corny joke, but if you tell one, I'm going to be like, "Hey, all right, okay now." And I'll walk away, give you some time to breathe, realize you're not good, and then I come back and we'll start over. But that's the thing, adaptability. You have to be able to adapt to everything because people are very different. So you have to be able to play the game to maximize your potential for money.
Correct.
That's it.
In the end, understand that these things are extra. These things are not something that we are asked to do. It's something that we simply do because we see the benefit into it. So whenever we talk to our guests about these things, we use them to our advantage. Whenever a guest talk to us about these things and you decide to either entertain it or not, we entertain it because it's to our advantage. And then finally, when we talk about things in our table as well, it's because, well, in a way, it is to your advantage. So, moral of the story, don't forget to tip. Thank you for listening.
Take care, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.